Smith has become all about brand. Smith has become all about me, I, my money, very public. I don't think in the time John Saunders or Mike Tirico were at ESPN, you ever saw them talk about money. I don't think they were ever public about it. They were professional broadcasters working for the best sports company in America. Now what do you got? Me, I. I want what he's got. It doesn't matter if we do a show worth a damn. It simply matters that my brand expands. And I get it. And I blame the Kardashians. Make no mistake, what Stephen A. Smith is doing is no different than what the Kardashians do. He's basically a Kardashian on the East Coast. Well, maybe the Kardashian all over the place. I don't know. But he's Kardashian. That's all it is. I blame the Kardashians. Look at me. Take a picture of me. I'm going to walk a certain way, act a certain way, talk a certain way. And invariably, when you have that, you have clashes inside. See, Mina Kimes is a perfect example. Knows literally nothing about the sport she's paid to cover, but she's got a look. She covers the box. Asian American. Seems like a nice lady. Probably very easy to work with. Doesn't know anything, but covers a box, has a brand, understands how to fit the brand that she has, which is, hey, I'm going to be sassy. I'm going to be cute. But here's the problem. These people don't have any character. These people lie. And you can't beat them when people lie. Like way back, Mina Kimes and our outfit here, OutKick, they had a little problem. Mina Kimes said this. Horrible lies about me, talking about OutKick, have led to racism, harassment towards me and my family. Well, both in private and public settings, OutKick said, wait a second, that's a pretty serious charge. OutKick, Clay Travis, went back and looked. There were no lies about Mina Kimes. None. Not by OutKick. I don't know about anybody else. See, you can't win when people lie. And that's what ESPN has become. When Saunders and Tirico and Nessler and Obi were running the roost, or at least there, you had to be honest. You had to give a show. Stephen A. Smith's doing the same thing. Stephen A. Smith comes out with some absolute bullshit. And he thinks by talking like Regina Bookman in 30 Rock, where it's, blah, 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 if you listen to the words, they're nonsense. They always are. They always have been. Although I must say, I did like his takedown of Michelle Obama. I did. I thought his takedown of Oprah and Michelle Obama was absolutely classic. And I hope he runs for office. But having said that, when people just lie, people get so brazen, they believe their own bullshit, and then when called on it, they're just going to lie. Stephen A. Smith famously got rid of his coworker, Max Kellerman, famously got rid of Skip Bayless. Famously put himself in a position where it was only him. So when Stephen A. Smith says things like, I always root for my coworker, we know it's total bullshit. We just do. Now, you can't fight it because I'm guessing at some point he's going to go on and start yelling and screaming and talking and demonstrative and lie. They didn't used to do that. Now, it's fascinating. You talk to Tirico now. Mike's become a lifetime friend. Sadly, John Saunders, who mentored me through a couple of different situations, passed away. They didn't lie. I guess the easiest thing in the world to do is lie. No, this didn't happen. No, this is bullshit. And do it loudly. Do it strongly. Hey, that's bullshit. Well, really? Oh, okay. Well, if you say so, but I know different. This phone contains exactly what I said about Smith and Pat McAfee. I said Pat McAfee is the enemy of talent at ESPN, specifically the African Americans, who feel some sort of allegiance to Smith. Never said that Smith organized that. No idea. Don't even know how it was presented. But what I said is true. McAfee is the enemy. Hell, McAfee had to embarrassingly, for ESPN, put out a request for NBA talent to come on his show because why? NBA talent wouldn't come on his show. I told him, look, probably lucky. Bunch of racists. When the big stupid Kendrick Perkins goes out and says you can't vote for a white MVP, that's by definition racist. You don't need racism in this world. Trying to eradicate racism, not promote it. That's what I told him. I said, you got lucky. They're a pack of dumb racists. If you're racist by actual definition, you're dumb. So you can turn this however you want, Stephen A. Smith and others. But McAfee absolutely is. It's right here. So before you start calling bullshit, understand there is evidence of what I said. And it is true. Look, McAfee hasn't been on your show in forever. You haven't been on his show in forever. But I will say this, by all accounts, some documentary, I don't even know what was discussed. I don't even know what Pat was talking about. Some documentary, apparently you treated McAfee okay. Great. But make no mistake, Pat McAfee is absolutely the enemy to talent in that building, specifically the African Americans who side with Smith in his quest to get more money. Is Smith the one behind it? No clue. Don't care. Never heard it. I'd tell you if I did. But 1,000%. So stop the bullshit. I'll read what I'm supposed to read here. What are you, nuts? McAfee, I'm going to say it again, is 100, as I said the other day, is 100%, or at least feels like he is 100%, the enemy of talent at ESPN. Period. Now I went Regina Bookman there, Stephen A. Smith. Look up Bookman. Queen Latifah played her great. She did win a recent Athlon sports story, which can be read here, was published on Friday that mentioned an interview by former ESPN employee Dan Dakich in which he stated there was growing tension between Smith and McAfee and that McAfee was viewed as the enemy by ESPN, at ESPN by Smith. Now, I didn't say by Smith. I said he's the enemy of talent, specifically African-American talent that sides with Smith. That's what I said. I did not say Smith. So in this vein, I'm an honest guy. Smith is right. That part is bullshit. I did not say viewed as the enemy by Smith. I said by talent at ESPN. And that McAfee was viewed as the enemy at ESPN by Smith and other African Americans who worked for the company. Smith sought out to set the record straight. Taking to X to give his side of the story, Smith debunked Dakich's claim, stated he and McAfee on the same team and he has never once rooted against him. Well, it doesn't matter who you root for. How you rooting for somebody? Go, Pat, go. Keep your talk show going? What? No, the issue is money. The issue is always money. I've always said this. When you see a high school coach get fired, and it's weird, it's either sex or money. When you see adults dislike one another, it's either sex or money. Someone was stooping somebody or cash is involved. In this case, Stephen A. Smith has shown himself to be a sensitive little kid being sad that McAfee made all the money, which McAfee should. I mean, McAfee, and Smith should. I'll say that point blank. I don't watch his show. When he's on, I turn it. I mean, what is he going to tell me about basketball? Never played, never coached, couldn't play, doesn't know shit. What's he going to tell me about football? I mean, I don't watch it, but I'll say this. Apparently he's popular. Apparently people do. So apparently he should get some coin. If you're going to use him on every show like they do Greenberg, then he should get some coin. I've always said that. I mean, just because I don't respect what he knows or what he says doesn't mean he shouldn't get coin. If you're going to use an employee, you should. See, I'm honest on all sides here. Peeps. He tries so hard. I love fake tough guys. Normally, I wouldn't waste my time, but this is a flat-out lie. No, it's not. No, it's not. What I said is exactly the truth. McAfee feels him to be viewed as the enemy of talent at ESPN. Why do you think he put out, hey, any of you NBA guys out there want to come on my show? Because the racist clowns that work for the NBA as analysts at ESPN somehow, some way won't come on his show. They will now, watch. This is a flat-out lie. No, it's not. And some straight bullshit, really. I mean, if you swear and you put, you go Regina Bookman. Look her up. She's great. If you go Regina Bookman and you say bullshit loud and then you forget what you're saying, but you will clap for me because of my enthusiasm and my loud words. Look her up, 30 Rock, Regina Bookman. There isn't a shred of truth to this BS. No, it's all true. I mean, you can, again, guys wouldn't lie. See, McAfee maybe has to react to this and come out and say something, but you notice he hasn't. Why do you think? BS. I root for my teammate. Did you root for Max Kellerman? Did you? Seriously, did you? Did you root for Skip Bayless? Did you? I mean, there's others. David Aldridge. I mean, did you really root for these guys? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you did. Doesn't seem like it, though, when you said, I got Max out of here. Now, that's your teammate. Show was doing good. I don't know. Maybe you did. Maybe we all got it wrong. Maybe your words by you and printed and said by you were misquoted. Maybe you're Charles Barkley. You got misquoted in your own book, but I didn't think you helped Max Kellerman. So here's the deal with that. Once you start lying and people start saying, well, you didn't with Max, you didn't with Skip. Now, I get it. There's going to be a lying comeback here. You watch. There'll be some lying bullshit. But the fact of the matter is that you did. And once you don't with one coworker, we all kind of know what you're doing with another one, particularly when money's involved, particularly when one guy comes in who has grabbed the nation by the throat and gotten its attention. And I damn sure have never encouraged my colleagues to do otherwise. Yeah, I didn't say that one. That one you're going to have to figure out who put that in there. Now, I didn't say you encouraged. I said they side with. However you want to take that, they side with you because you have made it clear publicly. Hey, maybe not privately to you, but publicly, you have made it seem as if you are jealous of the money McAfee's making. And hey, who isn't jealous? Jealousy is a part of the world. It is. I mean, hell, I grew up, I used to hate it when Roxanne Renner would talk to other boys in 8th grade. And that's what this is. That's what ESPN has become. Little 8th grade boys and girls on the playground. I want mine. It's about me, mommy. How many little kids do you hear say, me, I, me, I, me, I? The more Pat McAfee succeeds, the better it is for the rest of us. Really? Then why haven't you said that? Why is it only now you've said that? Why have you been such a little biatch when it came to Skip? The more Max Kellerman succeed, the more you would succeed. The more Skip Bayless succeed, who saved your career, the more you would succeed. I don't know. How many times do I have to say this? It was true with PTI. It was true with First Take, which means you're keeping score. I get a kick out of this. Before I arrive. Okay. And it's true now. There are enough legitimate, true things to attack, and this is one of them. So why lie? Again, straight BS. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Well, great, I did. I didn't even see this. I saw it last night, and I'm like, just kids, children. That's all. He's got more than me. I want what he's got. He's playing with my Tonka truck. I want his Tonka truck. Hey, Stephen A., do you want his Tonka truck? No. You see it from kindergarten on, this bullshit. You do. You just do. So anyway, here is how some media have reacted. An alleged rift between McAfee and Smith. It isn't new news. Puck News, John Uran, reported back in June that Smith turned down a $90 million contract offer from ESPN because he wanted McAfee bucks, which likely meant becoming the company's first $100 million on-air talent. I hope he gets it. Hey, now this is true. I want everybody in this industry. My contract's coming up in a year or two. Get it up. Smith may or not be telling the truth about how he feels about McAfee, but any skepticism fans have likely stems from past falling out with co-hosts Max Kellerman and Skip Bayless, who both ended up departing ESPN. See, when you do that once, it's like when your kid lies to you. This is also childish Stephen A. Smith bullshit. That's what this is, seriously. When your kid does something once, it's hard for him to tell you, no, I didn't do it the next time. And I don't care. Like, there's nothing I care. Well, there's a lot of things I care less about. But make no mistake, 1,000%. And I got the evidence right here. Pat McAfee feels to be the enemy of talent at ESPN. When I saw Pat put the tweet out about basically a casting call for ESPN, for NBA talent to come on his show, I laughed my ass off. And I texted him, and then we went back and forth. I thought, man, is that typical of the current ESPN? See, John Saunders or Mike Tirico or probably Dan Patrick would have stepped in and said, this is stupid. Let's work together. But that's when ESPN was building. A lot of people don't know. Oh, never mind. Anyway, ESPN has become what it's become. Me, I, me. That's it. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. But who gives a... Actually, it's not that sad. It's entertaining to watch. I hope they have a big feud. I hope this thing with Smith continues. Because you'll see how full of shit these people truly are. All right. An alleged rift. No, that's the first one. The NBA, the NFL, everybody decided to fine Nick Bosa. Everybody's fining Bosa for donning a MAGA hat after the conclusion of last week's Sunday night football game. The NFL fined Nick Bosa $11,255 for wearing a MAGA hat during last Sunday's post-game interview on NBC. Bosa told reporters that he knew the NFL might fine him, but it was worth it. Of course it was worth it. Of course. I mean, damn. There's a GoFundMe. There's a GoFundMe for Bosa. You want to contribute? Go to the GoFundMe. You know what I mean? Do that. Help Bosa out. Free Nick Bosa. Free him. Free him. The MAGA hat stunt earned Bosa praise from some, but scrutiny from others, who pointed out that the move violated NFL rules. Some critics, such as Ryan Clark, felt the media was going too easy on Bosa. Too easy for voicing his political opinion. NFL on CBS insider Jonathan Jones reported late last week that the NFL would wait until later in the week to make a decision. Many observers pointed out that by doing that, the NFL likely hoped to avoid creating any sort of controversy before the presidential election. Trump defeated Democratic nominee Kamala, whatever the hell her name is, Harris, on November 5th. See, that's pretty good. Now, if you think about it, the NFL's strong. The NFL's smart. I don't want to get in the way of this. But if I were Bosa, I would want the punishment during, well, let's say last Monday. Nobody's paying attention. Although, if you're going to make that kind of statement, maybe you want the attention. I don't know, but what I do know is this. I get a kick out of all of it. You know what I mean? I am going to love that players now are starting to do that Trump dance. I love that players now are seen wearing MAGA hats. You know what I mean? I love it. I think it's great. I mean, look, you're really considered a bad guy for wearing a hat that says "Make America Great Again" because somehow, some way, some idiots decided it meant something other than "Make America Great Again." You know, here's the deal. It's like what I was just talking about with Smith and ESPN. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. Whatever you want. You can lie. You can say whatever you want. Period. Whatever you want to say. Hey, that hat represents hate, racist, and being a Nazi. That's what I've heard. I've heard others say, what are you talking about? It's a red hat. It's a red hat that says, hey, let's make America great again. The same thing Reagan said, the same thing Clinton said, the same thing if you're halfway intelligent, you can look at our country and go, let's make it great again. I had Pete the Cop over my house. Pete the Cop, number 3 in line at the Indianapolis, what do you call it, Metropolitan Police? I don't know, the Indianapolis Downtown Police Department, all of Indy, Marion County. They're not a sheriff, they're a cop, so it's Indianapolis IPS. He was at my house. We had a party Friday night, and we were sitting having a beer. I go, yo, how happy are you guys? Trump's back. He goes, you can't believe it. He said, you absolutely cannot believe it. He said, it's so great. He said, Biden's policies are killing us. On the west side of Indy, where the MS-13 gang has a stranglehold, yes, that MS-13 gang, you know what? Now, between ICE and the police, we can get these clowns out of here. We can arrest them. Well, at least when Trump comes in office. And they know it, which is great. So my point is, we do need to make America great again. We do. You can think we don't. And you can make up whatever you want, however you want to make it up. You do whatever you'd like. Don't matter. You can say it's bad, good, whatever. Make America great again ain't bad, because America is on the verge of being great again. Wear your hat, speak loudly, and listen to Elon Musk. Here's what Elon Musk put out there on X, Twitter, whatever the hell it's called. I like Twitter better, personally. Nick Bosa, there you go. Nick Bosa has been fined $11,255 by the NFL for wearing a MAGA hat. Well worth it. Fire! USA flag. Yeah, that's right. And by the way, happy Veterans Day to all you veterans out there. What a great day. We should celebrate you every day. Awesome people. My father was a veteran. We used to laugh at my father. We'd make fun of him, say, "What'd you do?" Hey, he would laugh. He goes, "See that building when we would drive on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago? That was my office. I patrolled the shores," true story, "of Lake Michigan for subs." I said, "How'd you do?" He goes, "Not one sub came in, did they?" I said, "You're right." God bless. Anyway. All right. You know what time it is. I don't care what you think about my next pick. I don't. No, I don't. Time to break down this week's OutKick Top 12. Our beautiful, and they are beautiful, panel of OutKick voters decided who they believed earned their place as one of the top 12 teams in college football. Let's start off with the top 12 ranking. Bump-a-da-ba, bump-a-da-bump-a-da-ba. Now remember, we got to put teams in there, the first four, that are going to be champions of their conference. Remember that. Oregon, Big Ten, weird. I had to pause. Texas, SEC, weird. I had to pause. This is really weird. BYU, Big 12. Miami got their ass beat by Georgia Tech, but they're fourth because everybody else in the ACC sucks bathwater. 5 and 6 play each other in 2 weeks. I'm going to be there. Tennessee, number 7. Penn State, 8. Notre Dame, 9. Notre Dame might be playing better than anybody in the country. 52-6. Is that what it was? 52-3. Wow. Bama Slamma went into LSU and beat the dog out of Brian Kelly. Georgia had its second loss. First time, long time. And Boise State, okay, fair enough. Here's my selection. Here's your selection. Here's everybody's selection. You're going to see all of ours. And I put Indiana number 1. I don't care. I'm second from the left down. IU number 1. Nobody else did. Everybody picked Oregon, but they told me I got to pick the Big Ten champ. Indiana goes in and beats Ohio State in 2 weeks. There's a bye week this week for IU. Indiana only has to beat lowly Purdue to be the Big Ten champ. They're going to be the Big Ten champ. Everybody else got Oregon. Les Miles has Texas. Brock Hewitt has Texas. But I'll stand behind my pick today, tomorrow, and the next day. Are they the number 1 team in the country? Not by who they've beaten, where they've beaten. But they're going to win the Big Ten, so I put them first. I like Texas, most like Texas. The beatdown by Georgia seems to be an aberration. But if you look at me, I've got Colorado third. I'm just saying, Colorado is on fire. Remember that when I told you after they came back in the second half and beat the dog out of Nebraska, even though they got beat like 28-10 or 20, whatever it was, didn't matter. I told you, Colorado's a good football team. Nebraska isn't. That first half was deceiving. That first half wasn't real. Well, Colorado's back in business, ladies and gentlemen. They're back big time in business. And I think they're going to win. I do. I think they're going to win the Big 12. I think they're really good. I think Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, et al. I just think, you know what? Coach Prime coaches his ass off. He's got a team that was one of the worst programs in college football in second year in the hunt to get to the college football playoff. They've got 2 losses, but if they win her out, watch out. There's a path. And I'm watching them play, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? This is a team that has been coached. This is a team that comes together. This team's a little wild, which is good. You got to be a little bit wild. You got to be a little bit crazy. No. That's good action. Ohio State was a 37-point. Wait. Do we have the bracket if the season ended? Did we show that or did I miss that? There it is. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. Indiana, I don't like you playing Georgia. I want to be in that 5 spot where you got Boise, then Miami. That's the spot I want to be in. You play Boise, then Miami, you're all right. Let's do that. But anyway, how great are these first games? Notre Dame, Penn State, Georgia, Indiana, Alabama, Tennessee. This is a hell of a tournament coming up. I know we all think the NCAA men's basketball tournament is the best tournament postseason in the country. I would argue this is going to be pretty good. Results on the field, Ohio State was a 37.5-point favorite. Some got them at 38. They won 45-0 over Purdue. Ole Miss, quoting my boys here, whoops that Georgia ass. 28-10. That's right, 28-10. They whooped Georgia. Second loss for Georgia. That don't happen. Georgia Tech was up all day. It's a game I bet, and I kept watching. Wow. Good for Georgia Tech. They had been on a freaking decline. Their win against Florida State obviously doesn't have much meaning. But wow. They belly whomped Miami. Every time Miami came back, Georgia Tech said, screw this. That was good. Indiana, hey, man, they had a battle. And you knew it was going to be. You just felt it. You just felt like Michigan had a sense of desperation. Michigan still has 5-star recruits on the defensive front. I took the under in this game. I wasn't touching the 14.5. I should have gone with Michigan, but no chance am I doing that. I don't bet anything against Indiana. And actually, by betting the under, don't you bet a little bit against Indiana by not wanting them to score? But Indiana got it done, and at this point, who cares? Michigan. You know, it is fascinating. Every time I've talked to guys, whether it's guys that I play golf with, guys here on our shows, my other show, talk about college football, it's always the same. Damn, how does Michigan not have a quarterback? Whew. And they don't. They really don't. It's fascinating. Kansas beats, man, I like Rocco Becht. I like his dad, Anthony, comes on the show, Iowa State reeling. Colorado, I'm telling you, they went into Texas Tech. Big noon kickoff was there and whooped that ass. And, oh, man, a phantom holding call on a on a game-winning tackle by BYU, or against BYU, by Utah, negated. Next thing you know, BYU kicks a field goal to win the game. I've never seen an AD come to the podium. I've never seen an AD come to the podium, which is what Utah's did, and just rip the officials. Wow. Kyle Whittingham, the coach, did the same. There's going to be a lot of fines coming up. The call was, I don't know. The announcer said it was a great call. I'm not so sure. Oh, man. Sorry about that. Oh, I just blew it out of my nose on TV. See, you come here, you never know. That's live TV. It was stuck in there. Actually did that one time with a hot dog at the lunch table in high school. Anyway, Shaq. Oh, man, did you see Bill Burr? Did you see him making fun of Shaq being a whore, quote, taking all the money for advertising? Shaq blames Steph Curry, new era of humans, for making the NBA boring and for its decline in viewership. It's down because we're looking at the same thing, Shaq said. Everyone is running the same. Oh, is he right about this? This is what college basketball had, too. Everyone is running the same plays. Steph Curry and those guys mess it up. I don't mind Golden State back in the day shooting threes, but every team isn't a three-shooter. So why does everyone have the same strategy? I think it makes the game boring. I agree. The game has already been perfect ever since Naismith created it. This new area of humans effed it up. Golden State came in, changed it. Everyone wants to be Steph Curry, but not everyone's Steph Curry, and that's why viewership is down. But these dudes, they need to wake up. Viewership is down, and money is going to come down. He's right. It is boring. I like the Pacers. I like going to games, but I don't like watching on TV. Like, I would rather watch an NFL game on TV than go to a game. I had season tickets for probably 6 years. I don't like the game experience of the NFL. I like it at the NBA. I do. And Shaq ain't wrong. The game is boring. Guys look like chicks. You turn it on, you're not sure if you're watching a men's game or a women's game. Hey, instead of asking about the Maryland-Oregon game, football game, he had just witnessed, a reporter decided to ask Oregon head coach Dan Lanning a political question during his post-game press conference. And to no surprise, the question, of course, had an anti-Donald Trump tone. But Lanning, being the brilliant dude that he is, handled the situation perfectly. Here's Lanning.
Something non-football related, but I believe it was last year, you spoke out about gun violence. There was a decision made in this country that I'm sure affects a lot of the players in your locker room, as well as the women in your life and the women on your staff. What was sort of the temperature in the locker room or with your team as a whole after that, the results were in, and was that something that sparked one of those get real conversations?
Yeah, our guys just weren't. They just weren't. So obviously, gun violence is something I've been passionate about. But that our guys just line up and go to work every single day. I'm glad to be in the country that we're in. Certainly proud to be an American and excited about the future of this country. But I'm not one to hop into politics.
Front left, James. Yeah, I mean, what a douchebag. I mean, if you don't hate reporters enough, certainly you have to. And the guy's voice. I'm a voicist. I've said I'm a voicist. I've told you I'm a voicist. You tell by his voice. Failing sports commentator Jemele Hill is choosing to keep her opinions to herself. Wow, that's news for the time being, at least off social media. And we cannot thank her enough. We can't. No. I've been away attending to things that matter. Really? Wait, I thought racism in America and hating white guys and white women mattered, but maybe not. But can't help but laugh at some people begging me for my thoughts on this election are also the same people who constantly tell me to shut the F up. Y'all got it. I'm shutting the F up. Minding my business. I'll win for America. An absolute glorious win for America. Now, when the checks dry up, she'll be back trying to get that cap money. But you know what I'm saying. A win for America. Jemele Hill shutting up is a win for all of us. We thank you, Donald Trump. We thank you, Kamala Harris. We thank you, J.D. Vance. We thank you, Joe Biden. And we thank you, whatever this is. Walz. Seriously, thank you. Didn't think it could be done. Didn't think America would be smarter, but we are. And it is smart for America and for Jemele Hill that she shut the hell up. NFL recap, the Lions came back 15 down. 5 turnovers. Quarterback threw 5 interceptions. Jared Goff, what? Next thing you know, they came back and beat the Texans. I've told you all along. You all love C.J. Stroud. I think he's terrific. But they don't score many points. They have a hard time. They don't ever get the 30. I mean, if they get the 30, I know they did in the playoff last year against Joe Flacco, who, by the way, threw 2 pick sixes in a row in that game. They don't get – I've told you and I've told you and I've told you. I'm not in love. Not at all. With the Texans. A lot of you are. Eagles look good. Cowboys look bad. Wow. Did the Cowboys look bad? Cowboys looked horrible. Cardinals, hey, don't sleep. Kyler Murray having it done, and the Jets are done. 31-6. Thank God they fired the coach, Robert Saleh. Thank God they, with all the fanfare, brought in Aaron Rodgers. Kyler Murray's balling. That's 4 in a row. Didn't start out great, but he is balling. I'm not even going to make any studying jokes. Kyler Murray is balling, and he's balling hard. 49ers win late over the Buccaneers. How about my man Shaq in the first round? In the first round, went 6-0 in this, 14-2 on the weekend. He did. I got to get Shaq on here on Fridays. Holy cow. Steelers got it done versus the Commanders. A lot of people were bitching, whining, and moaning about Russell Wilson. He ended up getting it done, and that defense came on. I don't know, man. Mike Tomlin tried a fake punt early. It backfired. Commanders went in. Next thing you know, they had a scratch and claw, and they did. Tomlin, the Steelers, Harbaugh, and the Ravens, they're just money, man. You know what you're getting. The Bills down the Colts, I would argue that the Colts and the Cowboys are the most dysfunctional team. I think it was the first pass of the game Joe Flacco threw was a pick 6. I do. It may have been the second. I don't know. But whatever it was, Flacco had himself fumble, couple interceptions. Looked pretty inept. And the Colts, who have a quarterback sitting right there, Anthony Richardson, are out of it. They're 3 games back. No, they're not. They're only 2 games back, 3 in the loss column because the Texans got beat. But, man, if Joe Flacco's the answer, I got a full head of hair. And the Patriots, speaking of dysfunction, let's go team number 3. Who's more dysfunctional, the Cowboys, the Colts, or the Bears? We told Chicago about Eberflus, my friends Waddle and Sylvie. Told them Fluss ain't the answer. Fluss was a media creation here in Indy. Indy, with Chris Ballard, became media-centric. Indy, with Chris Ballard, viewed relationships and PR over winning and toughness. And Eberflus, the current Bears coach, was a defensive coordinator, and he tried the same garbage that Ballard tried. See, Ballard had all the media over, and we're going to serve nachos and pizza and watch film. So what the indie media do? They came over. Eberflus tried that crap in Chicago. These are dudes like, you ain't BSing me, man. Now, it's amazing. If your team is not talking about toughness, if your team is not talking about winning, they're failing you.